In this video, we're going to talk about Santa's Grim Reaper, a Christmas nightmare. Alright, my brothers and my sisters from another mister. This comic book is written by R.L. Stine, author of Goosebumps. I grew up on that as a kid. This comic book is called The Stuff of Nightmares. Sleigh Ride. Issue number 1, actually, correction, this is a one-shot. And actually, the cover you're looking at is a LA Comic-Con exclusive, 2023, Rated Comics exclusive. Not that cover, that's the main cover. This cover right here you're looking at. So if you're interested in that cover because it's limited to 500 in print, link in description or visit ratedcomics.com. Now, let's get into the content. So we begin the story on Christmas Eve in the Harrison home. Brother and sister are telling their parents to come see that Santa Claus is here and they're excited about it. But the parents are nowhere near excited to see Santa in the house. Ho ho ho, don't you recognize me? Tell them kids, who am I? He's Santa, they're excited about it. But the mom is like, he is no way Jack. Move away from him. Get away from the kids. Or as we're calling the cops, says the husband. But let's play a little game, says Santa. So he takes out his iPhone. Notice the time, it's 8:59 p.m. and he turns on the recording app. And he tells the family, everybody shout, ho ho ho, let me hear you. I'm recording you. Shout ho ho ho. And the kids do that and he is singing their praises. But he is not singing the parents' praise because they can't be doing no singing at all when they're tied up like that. Let us go. You can't do this, says the mom. Santa, you're mean. Bad Santa. Oh, stay chill, kids. Don't you want to see your presents? And he opens up his bag and releases these nasty ass rats, these demon rats or whatever you want to call it, with red eyes. And these demon rats go up to the parents and Santa's just like, ho ho ho, my little reindeers are hungry. Look at them go to town on your parents. And these little demon rats just devour the parents alive and the kids have to stand there in horror and watch all this unfold. And on top of that, to add some more disrespect to it, Santa just wants to go and ransack the presents and take the presents, and he tells the kids, on to my next house, lots of presents to collect, but before I leave, let Santa decorate your tree. And he just takes his chainsaw and roar to the tree, and that's it. So he tells the kids bye and leaves some milk and cookies out for Santa because he's hungry like that. Ho ho ho. Now, in this next panel right here, we see this person called the Nightmare Keeper. He hangs out near the fireplace and is very dark and ominous. His manservant is Reggie. But what the Night Keeper does, he's in a museum of curiosities. In case we're wondering, because we are wondering, at least I'm wondering, he collects strange and horrifying stories and keeps the nightmares behind them. And he wants to tell a story himself. But he wants to set the tone and let people know that that head that's in the fireplace that's keeping the fire warm, that's his cousin Arnold. That cat or that lamb is missing a leg because he requested a leg of lamb for dinner. So he tells us as the readers, you might be wondering about the candy cane that he's holding. It actually plays an important role in our heartwarming Santa story. So we're gonna get back to the Santa story. And the Nightmare Keeper goes into it. Heinrick Fiddler is a shy, lonely man who never fit in with others. He hasn't had any friends, he can never hold a job, and he squats in a rat-infested abandoned apartment building. And he only comes alive at holiday time. Heinrich is a perfect department store Santa. He loves kids and he loves Christmas. But this year, Heinrich had a shock that destroyed him and sent him on a horrifying path. So as he tells the kids, ho ho ho, come see Santa next time at Santaland when Santaland opens, well, after the kids leave, he goes to Mr. Anderson's office, his employer, and Mr. Anderson tells him that he's got bad news for him because there's not going to be no Santaland this year. We've had to close down our toy department store. Oh my, says Heinrich. I know you're disappointed, says Mr. Anderson, but we just don't have the customer traffic, to be frank. And if I'm being completely honest with you, the whole mall will probably be closing down soon. It's all gone now because everyone is shopping online. Oh my, no Santa? No Santaland? And Mr. Anderson's like, yo man, can I get you some water, man? Chill out. Listen to me, Anderson. Please sit down, says Mr. Anderson to Heinrich. I don't need a toy department, says Heinrich, or as we call him as Santa. I could be Santa anywhere. How about the kids' clothing? Maybe the front office? Or how about sidewalk back by the parking lot? Somewhere. No, I'm sorry, says Mr. Anderson. We just can't. Sit down. Christmas without Santa? You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me, Mr. Anderson. And he just has like a little panic attack and Mr. Anderson's like, yo man, sit down. Like, are you having a stroke or something? Stroke my ass. He's about to go in for the choke. And he chokes Mr. Anderson and he's not letting go anytime soon. Ho 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 ho. That's all he can say. And Mr. Anderson's like, yo man, I can't breathe. Well, it ain't gonna be no more breathing because this bro has a serious case of you ain't gonna have no more breath. You breathed. your last breath of life, all right? So Heinrich leaves and tells Mr. Anderson Happy New Year. He leaves the office. And the secretary's like, well, nice to see you. It's been a good 10 years of you being Santa. You had a good run. Hope your meeting with Mr. Anderson was okay. Oh, yes. Very good. Very good meeting. Okay, I find that awfully suspicious. She had to have heard something, but maybe being a good secretary, she probably just decided to stay out the business. So in the parking lot, he talks to himself, Christmas without Santa? No freaking way, no way! So he comes across a mom and her son. How are you, young man, says Santa. Want to talk to Santa? And the mom's like, sorry, he's very shy, plus we're kind of in a hurry. Shy? Don't be shy with Santa, sonny. Tell me what you like for Christmas. And the mom's like, we got to freaking go, but okay. And the kid's like, Santa ain't real. Ho ho, I'm not real? Do I look real to you, son? Tell Santa what you want for Christmas. And he picks him up, strangles him. Answer me. What can Santa bring you for Christmas? Answer me. Put him down, says the mom. Answer me, you little punk. If you know what's good for you, you answer me. And this all scuffle goes down. So the security guard named Chase that we discover later, he goes up. Is there a problem? No, says Santa, says Heinrich. I'm just asking the little guy what he wants for Christmas. Santa loves kids. Here's a treat. My elves made it just for you. You could tell like this bro just looks eerie. And the mom's like, does that man work for the store? There's something wrong with him. Beats me, but I'll keep an eye out for him. So the wife goes in and turns out that's Mr. Anderson's wife and child. So they go in asking the secretary, is my husband in the office? And the secretary's like, yeah, go in. But when she goes in, well, there goes a Christmas gift that you'll never forget. And on top of that, look at his mouth. There's a candy cane in his mouth. And speaking of the candy cane in his mouth, one of the security guards from earlier saw that Santa guy in the parking lot when he was kind of forcing himself onto that kid a little bit by telling him, tell Santa what you want for Christmas. And the cop is like, he may be our killer. See if he's still in the mall. And he goes on his APB or his walkie-talkie or whatnot, and he tells his other officers, we're looking for large red and green candy canes, a big man in a Santa suit. Bring him in and be careful. He may be armed. He's dangerous. So security looks out and they're like, oh no, we got him. He's on the sidewalk in front of the bank, probably cashing his last check. So freeze, police, don't move. Show us your candy canes. Okay, I don't know. Without any context, show us your candy canes kind of sounds like my mind went somewhere else. So now we're gonna go back into the content, all right? So Santa, not the real Santa that they're looking for, tells them, look, I have candy canes. I'm collecting them for the Salvation Army. You guys want to donate or what? Well, now it turns out they got the wrong Santa. So they asked the secretary, what can you tell us about this guy? Well, the man you're looking for, his name is Heinrick Fiddler, our store Santa for over 10 years. Well, so they ask, homegirl to tell us more about him, and she tells them he was strange, quiet, and polite, but a real loner. I never saw him out of his Santa suit. He never changed here in the store. He never went to the employee lounge. He didn't socialize at all. But the kids loved him. He was a terrific Santa. It's like he came to life playing Santa and nothing more. That was like his purpose. Then this morning, my boss had to let him go because we're closing down the department store or the toy department store. And it might be the chance that we're closing down the whole mall too because of this online shopping trend. Let's just say Heinrick Fiddler did not take it so well. Well, I guess so because he ended your boss. So they ask her for his address and they do have his address, so she gives it to them. And turns out that the address is a pretty fancy address for a store Santa. So they get the SWAT team. He's a murderer, probably deranged. Don't take any chances. They're informed. They go to the door, cock their gun. Fiddler, we're coming in. They barge into a family having an innocent family Christmas dinner. The wife is terrified. The husband's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And the kids are like, daddy, mommy, and this son, I don't know if that's a teenage son, is like, yo man, this is rad. Let me get my phone out and make a TikTok out of it or something. But it turns out the guy tells them, there ain't no Fiddler here, you have the wrong house. So they go on their walkie-talkie and turns out Santa gave his employer the incorrect and phony address. So back into his dilapidated apartment, Heinrick Fiddler is going to work, making some kind of toy or whatever he's doing in his workshop there. And he just tells himself, Christmas without Santa? No way, no freaking way. So what if I don't have a job? The kids still need me. They need me. They need me. And his voices in his head that manifest into real people talking to him. Yeah, they do need you, Santa. They really do need you. They need you. No Christmas without you. It's my holiday, mine. Ho, 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 ho. And his laughs get more intense, as you could just see right there in that panel. So I guess afterwards in that panel, he goes to different stores. He goes to a Toodles toy store and he asks if they're hiring. She rejects him. He goes to a tech zone, asks if they're hiring. He gets rejected. He goes to a dollar store. The hell is this Santa gonna be doing a dollar store? Gets rejected. He goes to a car wash. Gets rejected. And all this rejection just gets him because he goes on leash and he unleashes his hands on this car wash guy. So he goes to a Patty's pub. He's like, man, I probably shouldn't have lost my shit with that car wash guy. But you know what? Mr. Guinness will calm my nerves. So we go into this panel right here where a guy named Shane and Rosa are about to make love with each other, but Shane is not in the moment. And the reason why he's not in the moment is because he's distracted. He's distracted about that Santa from the parking lot earlier. And Rosa's like, you know, we're getting married in 6 weeks. I mean, you don't want to make a big change. I know that mall job you want to change, but that's where you're at right now. Don't make any changes. And Sanchez is like, man, I could do better than the job I'm at by the mall. You know, my dad told me my eyes are always on the ground, not on the stars. So I took the easy way out. I skipped the police academy and became a mall cop. And Rose is like, you don't have to prove anything to me, baby. I love you. But I have to prove something to myself, says Shane. If I could catch that Santa Claus murderer, I'll be the man. So they go on this walk and she tells him, how about a few drinks and we only talk about how wonderful I am. My treat tonight? What do you say? Yo, if a girl's about to buy me drinks on Christmas evening or Christmas Eve or whatever day of the week it is, and I gotta listen to her stuff, I might take you up on that. So Sanchez sees a Santa go into the bar in his suit and he gets suspicious about it. Rosa, I have a hunch this could be our guy. Stop, says Rosa. Don't go in by yourself. Call for backup. Don't be a hero. No time, says Sanchez. I can't let him get away. He goes into the bar and there's a ton load of Santas in there drinking Guinness. And that's to his shock. What's going on here? Is it a costume party or what? Bartender's like, nah, what planet are you from? You didn't know? Tonight is SantaCon. The hell is SantaCon? Well, it's a bunch of drunks in Santa suits loading up at the bars. It happens every year, and Santas in their Santa suits get their first drink free. But Heinrick is there. He notices a mall cop, and he's like, is he following me? Is he trying to ruin Christmas? Maybe Santa should pay him a visit. And his voices in his head are like, yeah, pay him a visit. Pay him a visit. You're right. Maybe I should pay him a visit. So he follows Rosa and Sanchez to this house. And because he's like, oh yeah, that's where they live? Let me be right back. Ho, ho, ho. You guys have been naughty spying on Santa like that. I'm gonna put gasoline on your house and light the some baby up. And the rats are there too. And the lights go up in flame. And it ain't no barbecue that's cooking all that flame right there. So now Santa decides he has to go back to Patty's pub because he needs to celebrate some more. So he goes back to Patty's pub and these two guys ask him like, where'd you go? More or less a housewarming party, alright? So one of the guys suggested to Santa that if these people don't appreciate you, maybe Santa should take back those presents. That'll teach him a lesson. So Santa's like, you know what? You just gave me an idea. You know, people are most vulnerable at Christmas Eve. We can visit houses, collect the loot, rob them before they know what hit them. They think it's someone that spiked their eggnog, so to speak. I'm thinking the three of us and a gang of Santas clean up houses on Christmas Eve. We'll go into different neighborhoods that'll keep the cops dizzy. They won't know what hit them. So are you guys in or are you out? And the guys are like, okay, we're in. So it turns out Sanchez and Rosa are alive, and at 3 a.m. their phone rings. Rosa picks up the phone and she tells Sanchez the news. My dad's house. Someone burnt it up last night. The fire captain says the place was torched. It looks like arson. And Sanchez is like, but we were just there to feed your dad's cats. So then they conclude, oh man, Perky, the cat didn't survive, and the neighbors heard the cat screaming as the cat was getting burnt alive. It was him. They know it's the mall Santa from the bar. And Sanchez is like, he's as good as caught. Trust me, I can accomplish anything when I put my mind to it. So Santa waits at the bar because he ransacked some of his houses and got the loot. But he's waiting for the other two guys. Where are the two? Santa's helpers. It's Christmas Eve. It's time to work. I gave him the list of houses. Are they double crossing me? They better not try to pull a fast one on the old Santa, alright? There'll be smoked meat, just like that mall cop and his girlfriend. And his voices kick in. You're Santa. Wait for them. Yeah, you're Santa. Don't you know that? You're Santa. I'm imagining you, but I'm going to listen to you guys. That's what he's saying. I know you ain't real. I know you're in my head, but I'm gonna listen to you anyway. Well, screw them. I got a lot of houses waiting to me to play my ho games and give me my presents. All right, it's time to slay my ride and slay these houses. So house number 1, the victims, kids, daughter. They asked dad, is Santa coming to the house tonight? Don't be worried about it, Travis. Santa always comes to every other house, and he's gonna come later. Maybe later. Well, it turns out Santa ho his way into the house. And the dad's like, you better get the hell up out of here. You're so lucky Santa brought these 2 dinner guests and these rats. They go and they eat up all the food. Don't worry, says Heinrick. I haven't forgotten the kids. Daddy, help me. And these rats are biting one of the kids' faces. And Santa is like, well, I'm gonna gather up my loot. Enjoy you guys' evening. Enjoy the rest of your dinner. So he drives off. I love bringing joy at Christmas time. Who's next on Santa's list? Turns out it's another gamer, probably gaming on Twitch. Maybe he's not on Twitch because Santa's there right now. And the guy is like, how'd you get into my apartment all alone on Christmas Eve? Ho ho ho. Don't be lonely. I brought you some holiday guests, these rats. But the rats are still in the bag, so he takes the bag, puts it over his head, clamps it down, and lets the rats eat his face alive. And on top of that, to add to more of the disrespect, Santa takes his game console too. So now in the streets, Santa ho 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 to this guy, and this guy is like, well, yeah, I got a Christmas tree last minute, but you know, between you and me, I took it off the lot. There's no way I'm gonna pay full price for it, but I did it for my wife. Very thrifty, says Santa. You save some bucks. Give me back my tree. Santa's like, I will after I put that tree inside of you. And the guy just lays there about to die. And on top of that, to add more disrespect to the matter, Santa takes his wallet because, you know, you gotta have some cash, right? Some spending cash. So now at this next house, the kid asks the parents, can we stay up and wait for Santa? And the granddad is like, I explained it to you. He won't come if you're awake. I know, says the mom. You're excited, but it's time to go to bed. Santa's here. Stay up, kids. The fun is just beginning. And Santa revs up his chainsaw. Don't anybody move. I got some holiday surprises in here for you. The surprise is on you, Heinrick. And it's these 2 guys from the bar. Hands in the air, but do not wave them around like you just don't care because you got that chainsaw in your hand. And Santa feels betrayed. He's like, you 2 were supposed to be working for me. What are you doing here? Here's a little lesson for you, buddy. Never tell plans to undercover cops. Cops? Well, I got presents for you. And I don't know how these guys who are pointing the guns point blank at Santa, and this guy who is holding a heavy ass chainsaw has quicker reactions than their finger, but the chainsaw roars around, throws him off, and he dips out the scene like, I'm out of here, bro. You ain't gonna put me down. So he runs out in the middle of the snow and he sees Martinez or Sanchez again because he's like, yo, man, how'd you survive my barbecue from earlier? Stop right there. He's not answering the question. I brought more cops. You can't escape. I got a point to prove, and I got to prove it to myself. So Santa drops the chainsaw and gets the hell out of Dodge. He climbs up on top of the roof of the house, and he oversees everything. He sees that there's more cops, and he doesn't know where to go. The rooftops are slippery, but he can't hide on this chimney. So he slips, falls, goes down the chimney. Father is reading Silent Night to his son, and Santa just gets barbecued up in the fireplace. Talk about, help me, help Santa, I'm caught, help me, the flames. And the kid is like, Dad, you told me there was no Santa Claus. Well, I guess I was wrong, Walter, as Santa burns alive right in front of their faces. It's kind of ironic how Santa burned Sanchez's house, and now it's his foreshadowing of his death right there. So we go back to the Nightmare Keeper, and he says, that joyful Christmas tale by Heinrick Fiddler always brings a tear to my eye. I guess I'm just a sentimental fool. Well, it's nearly midnight, Reggie, and I like to exchange gifts. What did you bring me? And Reggie's like, well, I brought you a collection of deadly poisons from Deadly Poisons R Us. And Nightmare Keeper's like, I brought you the same thing. How coincidental. I hope your holiday is as joyous and uplifting as ours, and I hope to see you again soon for more Stuff of Nightmares. Happy holidays. And that is the end of Stuff of Nightmares one-shot sleigh ride written by R.L. Stine. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you're a fan of R.L. Stine, I'm going to let you know one more time. That cover I'm displaying on the screen right now, that is a Rated Comics limited print LA Comic-Con 2023 exclusive, limited to 500 in print. If you want to get your own copy for rarity purposes and add to your comic book collection, hey, link in description, visit ratedcomics.com. We have some really cool Rated Comics limited print exclusives. But with all that being said, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description or donate to the Super Thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.